Now that the fucking potential spam phone call ruined my first video, let's restart this. Hopefully you guys all watched my first video first. Seeing how, you know, all the depression I had and how upset I was and all that. And then I watched the video back. And then as it was loading, I said, you know what? Fuck you, depression. Fuck off. You are not taking the rest of my day. I've already spent enough time with you. I've let out the hurt. I'm moving on. I'm not wasting any more of my day with you. I've spent most of the night. You know, I've spent most of the day today because it's already noon. And I've spent half the morning, actually all the morning, fucking letting you win. So you know what? I got dressed. I put fucking makeup on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm moving on with my day. And that's what y'all have to do. You really do. Give the hurt the time it needs, but don't let it take your whole fucking day. You know, and then when depression starts to kick in, say, you know what? I'm kicking you the fuck out. Get the fuck out, depression, you know? And that's what you gotta fucking do. That is what you have to fucking do. Because it will try to win. And that's what you just have to do. And that's what I decided to do. And you have to, because if you let it win, it will. It will win. And it will just keep winning and winning and winning, and you have to win some too. So just don't let it fucking overtake you. Let the hurt out, you know, kind of work your way through it, but then work your way through it and be done and move on. And that's what I'm doing. Yes, I've still got, you know, the problem that still happened, and then all the issues I had that surrounded all that. I still have more to work out, but I'm not letting depression win. I got fucking dressed, I'm moving on, and that's it. So now on to another topic. Now that I've talked about depression, and you know, feel free to leave your comments, I'll always reply. But let's now talk about Instacart while I'm putting together the newspapers to deliver. So briefly, I don't know if everybody knows what it is, but in case you don't know what Instacart is, it is a grocery shopping, it's an online grocery shopping service. So basically, if you don't want to go out to the stores, or, sorry, I just have to grab my coat. If you don't want to go out to the stores, or you're unable to go out to the stores, or for whatever reason you can't make it to the grocery store, you go online, you create an account with them, and it's free. Well, I think it's free. I think they have a free membership, and then they have a paid one. I don't really know the shopping part of it because, or the, you know, that part of it because I've never done it. You know, as far as ordering is concerned. But anyways, and you put in what store you want the groceries from and what you want. And then, I mean, usually you can pick your day, but with all that's going on, there's so many deliveries that they give you the soonest that they can. So, and then what happens is there are people that are called shoppers. I am a shopper. So what that means is I get the app and I sign up for an account and you go through all the background checks and yada, 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 get everything together. They mail you a card, a credit card. And then when the orders start coming over, you'll see how many batches are up. So let's say there's like 10 batches. And then it will say they're picking up at these stores and this is how much they are. And these are, you know, where it's going to. And this is what the groceries are at the bottom. It gives you it gives you pictures of what they are and how many items it is and what the pay is and what the estimated pay is, what the estimated delivery is, because it can change. Because when you're shopping, sometimes you can't always, especially now, you can't always find stuff because, you know, things are out and, you know, especially meat. Meat has been crazy. Oh my gosh, you can't find chicken. The other day I went to go get chicken for somebody and there was nothing. And, you know, usually you can sub something. There was no chicken to be had at all. And I asked the guy in the meat department and he said, no, we've been out of chicken all day. There's been times that hamburger's been out, and, you know, and there's only been chicken, so anyways, a brief overview is, so you accept a batch, and then you pick up at whatever store they tell you to pick up, and on the app you hit start shopping, and then it lets the the customer know that you started shopping and what your name is, and it just says your first name and then your last initial. And then it says, on my end, it says the customer's first name and last initial. And you can communicate with them. Excuse me, there's a message thing in the corner that you can text them and say, through the app, and say, you know, there's no Jif extra creamy peanut butter. Do you want crunchy? Or whatever the situation is. And see, what I like to do as a habit is, sometimes they don't get back to you right away. I mean, they're doing stuff. They can't sit on the app and, you know, pay attention to every little thing you say. So what I do is whatever's the closest substitute, I'll put it in my carriage, and then I'll text them and say, do you want this as a substitute? And I'll move on. And then when they get back to me, if they say yes, then I'll scan it in the app and then, you know, put it in the carriage. If they don't want it, I'll refund. If they want a refund, I'll refund it and then just put the item back on the shelf. Because you don't want to sit in the aisle and be like, oh, okay, I'm waiting, because you're timed. I mean, they're more lenient now because, you know, you're in demand. But you are timed on how long it takes you to shop. And you only have a certain time because it has to be delivered within a certain window. So you kind of can't really sit in the aisle and wait for that person, you know, to write back. So you kind of have to keep going, you know. And so for me, I've learned that I'll just find the closest replacement. I'll put it in the cart. I'll message them about it, and I'll keep going. And then if they want it, like I said, I'll scan it and keep it. If not, I will refund it and then put it back. It's a really great experience. Everything is on the app. Like, you don't really have to worry too much. If you had asked me after I did my first order, I would have said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is what happened with my first order. I had gotten because you have to wait for the credit card to come in, because that's how you pay for the groceries. It's an Instacart card, and that's how you pay for the groceries. So after the first one, or, you know, after I got the credit card in and I registered it and everything, my sister and I had decided that we were going to go out and do this together. We were going to go in her car, I'd shop, she'd drive. One of us had to stay in the car because her son was going out with us. Just to get out of the house. You know, on nice days, they just wanted to get out of the house. So that's kind of how we decided to work it. So I had to deliver the papers, and then I said, well, we'll get together about 3 o'clock, and we'll start Instacart. Okay. So after I did the papers, I was in line at Dunkin' Donuts that day, and I said, well, let me just see, because it dings. It keeps dinging, telling you, oh, there's orders. Batches. Sorry, they're called batches. And I was just so curious. I just wanted to try one just to see what it was like. So the one I took, which I learned the hard way, the one I took was for an Aldi's. Now, I shopped at Aldi's like 10 years ago, 11 years ago when they first came to town. I haven't been in there since, so I don't know the layout. I don't know how things are set up. I don't know much about Aldi's, you know what I mean? So I probably should not have taken that, but I'll tell you at the end of this why it was a good idea, even though it didn't seem like it. So I go there, and now I should have known that something was up, because when I got into the store, when you get in, you hit start shopping, right? You swipe and it says start shopping. So I did that, and it said, I'm sorry, you're not at the location. Please go into the location and start shopping. Well, I'm standing in the store, and it's not working, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm thinking, I've already accepted this. I'm responsible for this order. I can't start shopping because it won't let me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go into the store a little bit further. It finally works. Okay. So start shopping, you know, and basically what you do is you find, you know, an item, and you scan it, like you hit found item if you found it, and then you scan the barcode and it takes it off the order, and then you put it in the cart, move along. That's pretty much how it goes. So now keep in mind, I know nothing about the setup of Aldi's. I don't know where things are. I don't know anything about this store. I'm going around. Now, there were certain things that I couldn't find. So I would put, couldn't substitute, whatever, going through. Get to the end, hit, it says when you get to the last item and it goes through, it says you're finished, hit next step. So I did that. And it kept saying there were items in my cart. And I'm like, wait a minute. I've already did this, I was waiting in line. There was a long line. So I was waiting in line, kept doing it. Finally, it said, go to next step again. I did it. Get up to the register. Go to use the card. It's not working. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, everywhere on the app, everywhere where it says help, it says, I'm sorry, we're experiencing longer wait times and blah, 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 response times. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm in line at Aldi's. Other people are waiting. I can't get the card to work. I don't know what to do. I was kind of having a little bit of a panic attack because I'm like, oh my God, this is my first one. I can't get a hold of anybody. I don't know what the frig to do. So the guy puts the order on hold. I step aside. Luckily, the manager got somebody from the back that actually does Instacart. And she came out and she kind of said to me, okay, it's okay. It's not your fault. She's like, it's the app. It crashes all the time. She's like, this is normal for the app. And she goes, especially here. She's like, for some reason in this particular store, there isn't a good Wi-Fi signal and it does it all the time. She goes, see that guy over there? He comes here 3 times a day. He has the same problem. I go, so what do I do? I wasn't crying, but I was like, kind of like, ugh. She's like, did you scan everything? I go, I did it like 3 times and it keeps saying I did. And she goes, okay, don't worry about it. She goes, take the receipt. He'll rescan it so that to put the order back in the computer. Just pay with the card. You have to do it as a debit. Here's the code. Now, I didn't know the code because what happened is they never texted me or sent any information about what the code is when they sent me the card. They just sent me the card and said, you can start shopping. And because the app wasn't properly working, because I guess when you go to the end of your first order, it will say, if you need to do it as debit, here's the code. Well, I couldn't get that far, so I couldn't see that. So she told me, she goes, the codes are all the same, this is what it is, just do it as that, save the receipt. Then when you get out to the car, it'll probably be a better signal, you can finish, and it will let you go through. And I'm like, oh. I said to her, I would hug you right now if there wasn't social distancing. So yeah, I got it done, and I got it to the delivery. I delivered it. I was only like, after all that problems and everything, I was only like 20 minutes late, and I delivered it. I explained to the lady, I said, I'm very sorry, the store was very busy, and, I got here late. She's like, oh, no, it's fine. She still tipped me more than she was generally going to, so it was all good. So after that, I come home, and I say to my husband, please give me a hug. I've had kind of a stressful afternoon right now. So then, but see, I'm glad, now going to the end of the story, I am glad that I experienced that first. So now I know, never do Aldi's again. Nope, I have not accepted another Aldi's ever. And one afternoon, everything else has been great. My sister does Costco. When we get Costco's, because she knows them in and out. Easy peasy. I've done all the other ones. I've done Stop and Shop. I've done Big Y. What else have I done? What else is over? Oh, ShopRite. I've done Price Chopper. I've done Price Right. I've done all the stores pretty much around here, except for I haven't done Costco, and I will never do Aldi's again. So. But yeah, it's been a great experience. Besides that first time, it's been awesome. I've had all nice customers. Knock on wood, maybe I've just been lucky. I've gotten some really great tips. Some that have been like way more than even the order itself. People have given good reviews. I love it. I love just going out, and doing it, and no problems, yes, I've had some difficult orders, I mean, this one lady was all organic stuff, and most of the organic stuff wasn't there, and it took me like 40 minutes longer than normal. Like normally it takes me 40 minutes to shop. It took me 40 minutes on top of the normal because it was just so difficult of a, you know, of a thing to replace, but she was great at the end of it. She appreciated it. She gave me a $25 tip. So that was freaking awesome. The order was only like 30 bucks. Like, it was so great. You know, so I have to be honest, I've had a really great experience with it. And it's great that I can just do it whenever I want. Like, they don't say, oh, you have to work for a minimum of X, Y, and Z hours and blah, blah, blah. Nope, it's whenever I decide, you know, okay, I want to go out, I'm going to go out and do it, blah, blah, blah. The hard part is I'm addicted to looking at the damn batches because it sends me a message, ding, there's a new batch, and I want to be like, oh, let me just look at what it is. You know, I'm nosy, I want to see. And then, you know, and then I'm tempted, like, oh, I could just knock that out. And I'm trying, you know, so I'm trying to set boundaries for myself because I do need time off too, you know. Like, I worked Wednesday afternoon, and I worked, why am I losing my train of thought? Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, pretty much all day Thursday. Friday we did most of the day. I did Saturday, I only did a couple of orders on Saturday. I did one on Sunday because I was trying to get stuff done around here. I worked all afternoon Monday, all afternoon yesterday, or Tuesday, and I took yesterday and today off. And I've said, no, I will not look at the batches while I'm off. Well, I looked at a couple, but I didn't want to do them. You know, I'm like, nope, 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 just click off of it, you know. But it really has been a good experience. If anybody's thinking about going into it, if you're in an area that has a good amount of stores and they're not that far to get to, you know, and you have a car and you have the capability, you have the time, you know, you're familiar with the stores or whatever. Even if you're not, I mean, you get familiar, you know, because you're going to them so often that you just start to memorize where things are. Like, there's this, the funny thing is, there's this, what is it called? There's this brand. I can't think of it off the top of my head now because now it's failing. My memory's failing me, but there's a brand that comes up that people buy a lot. And they have their own section. In one of the stores, they have their own section. And I didn't know that first starting out until a couple of times. I'm like, oh, look at this. They're all here, blah, blah, blah. Now I know. So you start to kind of just pick things up. And again, if you start doing it and you really don't like it, you don't have to do it again. You just tell them you're not interested. They'll deactivate your account. You delete the app. End of story, you know, and they give you a direct deposit. Well, I signed up for direct deposit anyway. They give you a direct deposit mine ended up being Wednesday because they batch out for Monday. So they send it to your Sunday ends the week, and then they pay you up to Sunday, and then they put it through on Monday, and then depending on your bank, you know, it could take a couple of days to show up or whatever. But I mean, I've already gotten paid once. That's already went in. It cleared today. Everything's good. I mean, it was pending yesterday, and I looked today. It cleared, and everything matched up because I keep track. I bring the little clipboard with me, and I keep track of what I do. Everything was on there. There was no question. Like the lady, when I went to Aldi, said, you know, you might have a problem with this, but just, you know, save your receipt, save all the information. And if you don't see it on your badge, just, you know, let them know, blah, blah, blah. But no, it was on there, so I didn't have any problems, you know. And so, like I said, there might be some bad things out there that people say, but I haven't had any bad experiences at all. I love it. Now, I don't know once things start to get back to quote-unquote normal, if there'll still be such a demand, but we'll see. I mean, and again, if there isn't, then I just don't do it. I mean, no big deal, you know, like it's not, it's not the end of the world, you know. I'm not doing it as like a main source of income. I'm just, you know, kind of doing it for extra or whatever. So, you know, and at first I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to do the shopping and drive. That's why my sister was coming along. But you know what? I don't even mind that. You know, that doesn't even really bother me. So, whoops. So again, that's not even an issue. But that's something to think about, you know. If you don't like driving, that's part of it. Unless you get somebody else to drive with you, that's part of the job. So that's something to take into consideration. You know, you're going to go through gas or whatever. And set your own schedule. Don't just keep doing it because the batches are up and it's money and whatever. You have to take a break for yourself too, or you will get burned out. You know, I mean, I was starting to get that way, and that's why I said, okay, I am taking Wednesday and Thursday off, and I'll pick back up again on Friday. Because, you know, I also do the papers too, so I've been doing lots of walking between the two. Today, not so much, but, you know, still. So I have to, you know, I have to take that into consideration too. And pretty much I get home, I work until like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, so I'm pretty much burned out. I'm pretty much very tired by the time I get home, and I just kind of veg, you know? So I need those 2 days to kind of say, okay, I got to do shit around the house, I got to get stuff done here, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of have to set that. And again, if it doesn't bother you and you want to work every day, that's up to you too. But, I mean, I recommend kind of coming up with a schedule, seeing what works, but you know, if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. So anyways, that is going to conclude my video. I've got to go get these papers out now. But again, one last final thought. Kick depression in the ass. Don't let it kick you in the ass. Instacart's a go for me. Let me know what you think. And until next time, be good to yourself and each other. Bye-bye.